Xabi Alonso gone. Less than a season at Real Madrid. Finished. A Bundesliga invincible. A tactical mastermind. A club legend. So how does someone like that fail at the biggest club in the world? And what if I told you this didn't happen because Alonso wasn't good enough? Nah. But because Real Madrid was never built for someone like him. From the off, this appointment felt perfect. A former player, a modern, young coach, a clear tactical identity, and a clear vision of how he wants his teams to set up. Madrid fans believed they were getting a long-term project, someone who could finally build structure instead of chaos. But Real Madrid doesn't survive on structure, nah, not like Barcelona. Real Madrid survives on something else entirely. At Leverkusen, Alonso didn't just win games, no, he reshaped an entire culture. He took players that were used to fighting for the European spots and turned them into a relentless, disciplined, hungry machine. Every player knew their role. Every press was coordinated, every movement had purpose. So naturally, we all thought it. The entire football world started wondering, started dreaming. If he can do this with Leverkusen, what happens when you give him Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Courtois? People started imagining a Real Madrid where the forwards tracked back, the midfields controlled every single phase, the defence holds its structure, and everybody sacrifices for the system. A Real Madrid that didn't just win games, they dominated. However, that idea, it sounds better when we're just talking about it. This version of Real Madrid has never existed. This cycle continues over and over again. Lopetegui came in with structure, Benitez with organisation, Solari tried to discipline his players. All three of them understood the club inside and out. All three tried to balance tactics with culture. All three ultimately failed. Why? Because at Real Madrid the coach is not the star, the players are. The system is not sacred, the aura is. When the Bernabeu starts murmuring, when the players lose comfort, when Perez feels pressure, dear God, no tactical idea survives. Mourinho is one exception. Not because he avoided tactics, no, but because he overpowered the environment. He didn't arrive as a young, promising, up-and-coming coach. He arrived as a proven conqueror. Champions League with Porto, treble with Inter, reviving Chelsea, and all the way destroying Barcelona mentally, with a hatred that most Madrid fans don't even have. The players feared him, respected him, followed him. Zidane came in and succeeded for the opposite reason, not because he controlled everything, but he understood everything. He understood the egos, he understood pressure, and he understood what great players needed, because he was a great player. He didn't suffocate them with instructions, he didn't force them into rigid systems, he empowered each and every single one of his players. The wins were because of the players' excellence, the losses were down to his mistakes. That balance created trust, and that trust led to dominance. 3 back-to-back-to-back Champions Leagues. What can you say? Every club has an identity that survives each and every one of its managers. Barcelona will always prioritise possession and structure. United will always romanticise attacking, exciting football. Real Madrid's DNA, much simpler. Superstars. Freedom, confidence, aura. If the players are happy, Madrid wins. If the dressing room feels restricted, Madrid collapses. Madrid don't need a tactical architect, no, they need a manager who protects the stars, absorbs the pressure and manages emotion. Alonso, he didn't do that. He tried to fix the chaos, do damage control, but no. Chaos is the one thing that Madrid thrive on. The Xabi Alonso experiment wasn't a disaster because he's a bad manager, no. It failed because Madrid hired the wrong profile. They knew his philosophy, they knew his rigidity, they knew his approach, and they ignored their own history. They chased the biggest name available and not the best fit. And now, both parties suffer. All because Xabi Alonso tried to coach Real Madrid. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after all of this, I am wrong. maybe a young tactician comes to Real Madrid and manages to coach these players. But until then, this is just a thought that I had. A thought from Makoni's mind.